We are excited about our next guest, one of the world's most successful crime writers. His name is Harlan Coben. He's got more than 80 million books in print. 80 million people paid for these things. That is a big number. His New York Times bestseller, Fool Me Once, has now been adapted into a Netflix series, and he is the executive producer of said series. It follows the story of Maya Stern, a former military pilot who witnesses the brutal killing of her husband, or thinks she does anyway. She then begins to question everything when she sees her husband playing with their daughter on their family's nanny cam, despite his apparent murder, as you recall, just a few weeks earlier. That would shock you, as you can understand. Here's a clip from the show's premiere.
On a secret camera. Detective case?
These are excellent. What are they, vol-au-vents?
What, you come for the catering? Or to tell me you found my husband's killer?
Oh, Joe's mum invited me.
Oh, well, you think a psychiatrist would know better?
Not today, but there's some things I need to follow up with you on. About that night at the hotel.
Look, I have given you 3 statements, and you're no closer to catching them. Your shoelace, it's undone.
Ooh, first on CBS Mornings, Harlan Coben is with us now. Harlan, thank you very much.
Great to see you, Tony. Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hi.
Good to see everybody.
You are a master of suspense. That is a cliche, but also a true fact.
Yes.
I can stamp it. And part of the suspense here is this incredible moment where Maya sees her presumed-to-be murdered husband on the nanny cam playing with their daughter.
Right.
How did you come up with that as a hook?
You know, all my friends were starting to get into having nanny cams in the house. So I started thinking, what would be something that would really shock the heck out of you? And imagine your husband's murdered. You're just looking, checking out the nanny, and all of a sudden you see a man pick up your daughter, and he starts to turn. You realize, oh, my God, it's my dead husband. If I could start with that, I'm going to have you hooked. And now you have to hold on, hopefully, for all 8 episodes, which are now streaming on Netflix.
Okay, so there's the twists, there's the turns, and you say that this is the biggest twist that you have ever written. So a couple of questions. 1, why do you say that? And 2, do you have that moment where you're finally done penning it and you're like, ooh, this is good?
I shouldn't admit this, but we're friends. Yeah, I do.
So you knew it. You was like, this is the one.
Yeah. When I came up with the ending for this one, and you'll see in episode 8, which I'm not going to talk about much, but there's that moment when I came up and go, ooh, this is really going to work, man. This is gonna shock some people and hopefully move some people. So it was really kind of fun. Only Nate would I say that.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
Not the millions of other people who are watching
no one else
this
is here.
right now. The character Maya is a military pilot who suffers from flashbacks from the war zone.
Yeah.
Were you inspired by a woman in the military?
Yeah, I went on a USO tour. You know, the things that Bob Hope and Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
Now they send me, which really shows how desperate we must be. But I met one of the very first women who flew combat missions in the Middle East. And she was so cool. And I said, man, I want to base a character on that. It's kind of how a book works. So you have this part of it, right? And then you have this part with the nanny cam. You start mashing things together. I thought it'd be really cool to base a character on her job. So in the story, Maya just comes back from serving in the military. Yeah.
So Michelle Keegan plays Maya. She does a fantastic job. People love her in the role.
Yeah.
It's a series role. There was talk of this being a movie, and Julia Roberts was potentially going to play Maya. Why did you decide to go the series route rather than the movie route?
What was my decision? Hollywood's a funny animal, but it was really, Julia was great, and we tried to make the movie. It just didn't work out. And so when I signed my deal with Netflix, Netflix got the rights to it, and we said, let's make it into a 8-part series. One of the problems sometimes is you try to condense this really twisty story. I mean, every episode ends on a huge twist into an hour and a half or 2 hours. Sometimes things get lost. So in this case, we were able to expand a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, you dedicated the book in 2016 to your daughter, Charlotte. And in it, you wrote, doesn't matter how old you get, you're still my little girl. Why did you decide to dedicate this book to her?
Very sweet.
First of all, she just got engaged, so I'm going to start...
Congratulations!
I know, I'm going to start tearing up.
Congratulations to her.
Thank you. She just got engaged. I have 4 kids. She's my oldest, and the only one who seems to be following in my footsteps is a writer. She wrote one of the episodes of Fool Me Once, and she's written a few. And I don't want to play the dad bragging card, but she has her own show, so I'm losing her as a writer. I trained her so I could take it easy a little bit, and now she's going to leave me because she has her own show.
And she's engaged, too.
Wow.
And she's engaged. Don't stop. I'm going to get all emotional.
No, but how did that just happen recently?
Yeah, she just got engaged a couple of weeks ago.
How does it feel? I know this is still your baby girl.
I know.
But...
It's actually great. He's a wonderful guy, so we're all really thrilled about it. It's my first one to get engaged. But, you know, these life things, right? It's what we write about. I try to write about these kind of goalposts in life, these things that happen. It's weird.
That's awesome.
I am curious about one thing interesting. The book is set in New Jersey.
Yeah.
A lot of dramatic things happen in New Jersey.
Yes.
But you moved the series for over to the UK.
Yeah.
Why?
I have this great team over there. This is the 4th show we've done. Some of you maybe saw The Stranger on Netflix or Stay Close. And so working with this team is just a lot of fun. And so we just take the story and we move it over. And I think that hybrid makes it richer. You know, you see this cool house in sort of a little downtown Abbey-ish. And so that combination of the American story with the hybrid of the British sensibilities, I think it makes the series a little bit better.
Yeah.
You almost have a little bit more creative freedom, it seems, once you do the TV adaptations.
Yeah, you do. I think overseas, you can hide a little bit more there.
Yeah,
definitely.
Spooky architecture of the UK. Harlan Coben, you didn't need any help. You were doing it already. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. The series is called Fool Me Once. It's available to stream now on Netflix.